A very good morning to all of you. Type yes in the chat box if you can see my screen and hear my voice. So let's do a quick audio video confirmation. If you can see my screen and hear my voice, please type yes in the chat box. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Let's get started with today's YouTube live session. So, again, wishing you all a very good morning. Welcome to another YouTube live session with me, Surjit Kakkar. And today is Sunday, 28th of April, 2019. And before we move forward, let's get done with the formalities, the risk disclaimer. So, make sure you people take some time to read the risk disclaimer. I'll keep it for a few seconds. So, like the topic today says, we will be doing the market overview, but I also have some big news for you. So, we will be starting with the news. And once we are done with the news, then we'll move to the next step, which is the analysis of some of the major markets. So, let's get started with the news first. So, I know that the biggest challenge which most of us face while it comes to doing the demand and supply analysis is having a good platform where we can do the analysis for the scripts. Now we do have a platform. In fact, the platform which I use for my analysis. Just give me a second. Let me bring that up for you. Give me just a few more seconds. I'll bring it up for you, and let me show you. Okay, so the platform which I use is TradingView, and that is the platform you would see me using in all these YouTube live sessions. Now, one of the biggest challenge was that when it comes to TradingView for the NEC market, you were supposed to upgrade your subscription with a free account. You were not able to get live data for NSE, and you also know that the subscriptions for TradingView is not very cheap. It's a little on the expensive side, which was definitely something which would have kept you away from TradingView, because if you are already getting that free data from your broker, who would like to pay 2,000 a month, 3,000 a month just to get the data feed? So what TradingView has done is recently they have started giving the NSE data live, that too for free, which means if you have a free account with TradingView, now you would be able to get real-time data and you don't have to pay anything for it. So even with the free account, you get real-time data. Now all the tools which I created, your boring candle indicator, the explosive move indicator, or some of the tools which are subscription based, which is your demand and supply zone indicator, if you wish to use them, you can even use it with your free account. Yes, the free indicators which I have created, you would be able to use it for free, but the ones which are subscription based, like the demand and supply zone indicator, yes, you will have to subscribe for it, then you will be able to use it in your free account as well. So that was the big news, that at least now you don't have to worry about which platform to use. You have a platform available to you where all the tools which we require to do the demand and supply analysis would be available. Plus the best part is it's cloud based. So if you do your analysis on your home PC, you go back to your office, you log into your office, you have your complete analysis with you. So you definitely have all those advantages. Now, another thing which I would also like to add here is, in fact, just give me a second. Let me bring that up first. Okay, so another thing which I would like to add is that starting this week, what I'll be doing is I'll also be giving a giveaway coupon. So what that coupon would basically help you join our live simulation session. So what do I mean by live simulation sessions? You know that we have two courses. One is POS and the other one is POS Plus. And the difference between the two is that the people who are joining POS Plus course, they get 3 live sessions per week. So I will be giving a coupon which will help you join that live session. So what happens in that live session? In that live session, I'll be sharing some trading ideas with the students who are joining those sessions. And then what we do is we take that a trading idea and we apply the complete strategy. So in a way, you will be able to preview our strategy. If you have been thinking of joining the course, or if you're not sure whether this is going to help you or not, at least you will have that opportunity to join that session for free. One session, yes. One thing which I'll definitely add is that make sure whenever you're subscribing for it, choose a date and a time when you would be available, because if you miss the session, you would not be having the access to the recordings. So you need to join the session live. And how can you get access to it? So only one lucky winner will be getting access to it. So every week I will be doing this. So every week we'll be selecting one person. Now how can you participate? You need to do few things to participate in that. The very first one is you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're still not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Second, you need to like this video. Third, you also need to post a comment, because what I'll be doing is, from all the comments I'll be getting, I'll be picking someone randomly, and your comment can be anything, how these sessions are helping you or not helping you, or if any topic you want me to take in the next session, or it can be just simple as a hi, right, whatever it might be, but you need to post a comment. And so please develop mobile app. See, Himanshu, now when it comes to Trading View, you can use Trading View from your mobile as well, right? So that is one advantage which you have. They do have a mobile app, Trading View, but as of now, it is only available to international locations. So probably down the line, we'll also be getting that app for India as well. But otherwise, you can access it from your smartphone's browser. It works perfectly. So yes, you can use Trading View for the on your handsets. And the last one, you need to share it. You can share it on your Facebook page, you can share it on your Twitter, you can share it maybe on your WhatsApp group, right? So if you you need to do all these things, but yes, the most important one is, make sure you subscribe and make sure you comment, right? So we'll be selecting one random winner, and what I'll be doing is, the next YouTube live session, I'll be announcing who that winner is, and then that winner will get access to one live session, which is where you can in a way preview what our methodology is all about. And that is what this session would I mean this would be all about, the giveaway. And yes, let's get back to the analysis now. So can you see, now this is what happens when I'm marking the zones here. I'm just straight away pointing, okay, this is the demand, this is the supply. But many of you ask questions, why you're picking this demand, why you're not picking the other one, all those things. So when you come in for that live session, the simulation sessions, you will be able to see, why we pick certain zones. We'll go through the complete process, how to identify zones, how to qualify them based on the quality, how to qualify them based on the probability factors. So a lot of things we'll be looking into. Just give me a second, please. And yes, like I said, now the biggest advantages, those of you who probably were not using Trading View. Now, if you want to use Trading View, you can use it, because now you will be getting live data. And another thing which you can also do is, you can go to our website. So the short URL sk.coach, right? Otherwise, you can go to surjitkakkar.com. So short URL sk.coach, sk.coach. And once you come to our website, you can see under free section, we have an option which says trading analysis. So this is where I have a video which basically explains you all the tools which you can use in Trading View to do the demand and supply analysis. You can watch this video. This will help you understand how you can tweak all these tools for your demand and supply analysis. Plus, if you still don't have an account with Trading View and you want to open an account, you can just click here and go to the link and open your account. And like I said, even the free account will have now live data feed for NSE. So that is the big news, which is really, really good for us, because I know that when it comes to a very good platform with all the tools which we require, we don't have a lot of options. I have traded on a number of platforms. And trust me, the day I started trading, doing my analysis on Trading View, since then I've never moved to any other platform. So this is, I'll say, based on my experience, very user friendly, one of the best platforms I've ever used to do the analysis. So how about demand and supply zone indicator on Fire's platform? See, Ravi, the challenge as of now is that the Fire's platform, yes, it is based on Trading View, but they have still not activated the Pine script. So once they activate Pine script, definitely I'll be adding the demand and supply zone indicator to it, because the advantage would be then on one platform you can do your analysis, as well as you can also place your orders. As of now, the challenge is we need to do the analysis on Trading View and place our orders on Fires. So that challenge will be taken care of, provided they activate the Pine script, which they haven't done as of now, right? So the delay is from their end. So as soon as they activate the Pine script, I'll definitely be adding it to Fires as well. Thanks for sharing the news. I was using investing, but it doesn't have, absolutely. I know a lot of people wouldn't have the update for it, so that's the reason I thought, why not to update everyone? Because trust me, once you start using it, yes, we still have some disadvantages like they don't have MCX. Trading View investing has MCX. Trading View doesn't have futures. I don't know whether investing I guess investing.com also has futures, right? So that is where the challenge is. But still, at least if you want to do the analysis, you can always do the analysis and replicate of the futures chart. Doesn't make a lot of difference. Can be done. So let's get started with the broad markets. We'll be looking into Nifty, Bank Nifty. We have E-mini futures. We'll be looking at gold, silver, crude oil, Euro USD, and GBP USD. And again, I'll add while I'm going through the analysis, if you have certain questions, queries, we'll keep it for the end of the session. So end of the session, I'll definitely answer your questions and queries. And okay, I would also highly appreciate that if you can share the same thing with other people, because I know a lot of people might not be aware of this, uh, that okay, so Devan says that the voice is clear, but the screen is hazy. Please look. All right, so those of you who are getting a hazy screen, or if your screen is not very clear, the problem is that in your stream settings, you would have selected a lower resolution. So what you do is in the settings, just change it to 720p, and once you change it to 720p, you will be able to see crystal clear screen. So you just have to make the settings at your end. The challenge would not be from my end. You just need to change the screen resolution to 720p, and that should fix it. Sir, I'm an ex-student of OTAs. Okay, and I'm also an ex-OTA instructor. Right, so nice to meet you. Okay, so let me know whatever your queries are, and what I'll do is at the end of the session, I'll definitely look into those questions and queries. All right, so Devin, just try that, and I'm very sure that should fix it. Great, so let's get started with Nifty. So if you look at Nifty, like we discussed the last session, that Nifty is making all-time highs, and we should be more interested in uh, looking at long opportunities. Yes, we did find some demand areas on on the smaller time frame, but Nifty didn't quite hit those demand areas. But Bank Nifty definitely did. So we'll look into it once we move to Bank Nifty. So if you talk about Nifty, this was the weekly demand, and we wanted some corrections to happen, which could have been our opportunities. Even on the daily chart, the demand area which we had is somewhere around here. So the last analysis we did was on which date? It was on, give me a second. We did it on last Sunday, which is on 21st, right? So if you look at 21st would be way back, right? So that was the demand area. Prices never came back to this one as well. Now, if you want to mark a new demand zone, yes, we definitely have a formation of a new demand zone, which is right here. So we can definitely move this one a little higher, which would be here, because now we have a new formation of demand. So let's mark that. Give me a second. So that's the demand area. Now on the supply side, like I said, if you want to plan some short trades on smaller time frame, yes, probably you can do it. But if you talk about me, I have certain rules. Unless and until those rules are satisfied, I don't look for shorting opportunities on scripts which are making all-time highs. So I'll still stick to the long side, and that is where you have your daily demand area. Oops. It moved. In fact, let me do this. The zones are getting replicated on other time frames, which might make it confusing for you. Let's remove the zone replication on other time frames, on other charts, and let's keep it to the chart where we want to draw it. So that's where you have your demand zone. Let's move on to the 60 minutes chart. On the 60 minutes chart, like I said in the last time, that this is the zone I would be more interested in, but the prices, they never quite came to the area, fell shy of that zone maybe by quite a few rupees, and started moving up. So we never got the trading opportunity on this one, and I will still keep this as my demand area, though we can see some new demands in between. They are not very high probability setups, right? So I would not be more interested in these ones. This one still looks good, so we'll still keep this one as our demand on the 60 minutes. So nothing has changed other than the newly formed demand on the daily time frame. Let's see, do we have something on a smaller time frame, which is 15 minutes? No, nothing here. It's probably the same area which we were seeing on the 60 minutes, right? So if I mark this one, this would probably the same 60 minutes chart. The zone which we saw on the 60 minutes, it doesn't make any difference to marking it twice. It's not going to help us. So it's the same thing, the 60-minute zone and the 15-minute zone. So nothing on Nifty anywhere close by. Give me a second. So nothing on Nifty anywhere close by. So that's still the demand zone we'll be looking into. And if the prices they come back, yes, you can look at this as your trading opportunity. And like I said, can you see when I'm pointing to this, that is where we have the same demand on the 15 minutes. So your 60 minutes and 15 minutes are almost the same, and you need to still have patience for prices to move back. Now when it comes to bank Nifty, if you remember last week when we were doing the analysis, this candle was not there, so we were still trading at about what price, we closed at about 30,231 something, right? And I said that if we get a retracement, yes, we can plan some trades, and we also identified a zone. So we'll be talking about that zone. And can you see the last week we did have that retracement? Prices came to that demand zone, hit that demand zone, started moving up. So we'll still keep this as our demand, though it is tested, right? Though it is tested, but we'll still keep this. Reason being that it's a big time frame, and for me, if the time frames are big enough, I don't mind using tested zones, especially when it comes to the curve analysis. So we'll not be getting into the technicalities, what is curve analysis and what are all those things, but yes, those of you who have done my course, you would definitely understand what do I mean by curve analysis, and what do I mean by lower time frame and all those things. So since this would be the higher time frame which we would be using probably just for the curve analysis, nothing else, I'm okay with this as a tested zone, and yes, you people would know why. Now the next thing is, so we have this drop based rally. This is still fresh, so I'll still keep this as my zone on the daily time frame. So nothing has changed on the daily time frame, nothing has changed on the weekly. If you talk about the 60 minutes chart, can you see this is where we had a demand area, and in fact, this was the demand area on the 15 minutes. So just like I just showed you on Nifty, that on Nifty we have demand zone on 60, which is also the demand zone on 15. So the same thing applies here. This is my 15 minutes demand, which we can also see on the 60 minutes chart. So this is what we planned, that if the prices they come to this demand area, we can plan a long trade. And we did this analysis on the 21st, right? So 16th, 18th, 16th, 17th, 18th. Okay, give me a second. 21st. Right, so this is the day we did the analysis, because the markets would have closed on Friday, which was 18th. 19th. I guess Friday was off, right? So Friday was off. It was Good Friday. So 18th was the last trading day. So this is the day when we did the analysis, that if the prices they come to this demand area, we can definitely look for long opportunities. Yes, we were at 30,100, and you can see our long opportunity was at 29,500, which is almost a 600 points correction. Now, I know at that given point of time, it might look impossible, or it might look crazy that, if I keep waiting for it, probably will never get that opportunity. Right. So that is what the problem is with us as humans, right? What is the problem? The problem is emotions, right? Emotions, they come into play, and those emotions, they make us feel that probably the prices would never reach this demand area. So let me find something which is in between, even though it is not quality. And that is what you have to learn over a period of time, that you have to wait for quality. If you start forcing yourself into trades, majority of the trades would be stopped out trades. But if you're looking for quality, yes, still you will be having stopped out trades, but you would also be having trades which would be very good winners, and that is what keeps you profitable. Hit rate does not keep you profitable. Good reward to risk ratios keep you profitable. So that is one thing which I always say, because I have seen people running behind hit rates. Right. So what do I mean by hit rate? Uh, that, like, how many trades were profitable trades for you out of X number of trades. Example, if I take 10 trades, and if I have 9 winners and if I have one loser, that is called as a hit rate of 90%. If I take 10 trades, if I have 5 winners and if I have 5 losers, I have a hit rate of 50%. Now, I know most people would be more interested in this, that they want a 90% hit rate. But trust me, I would be more interested in this. Why? Because the only time you can have such a good hit rate is when you're probably risking 10,000 rupees just to make 1,000 rupees. Now, even if you have a, so that's your risk and that's your reward. So if you're doing something like this, even if you have 9 winners, you would have made 9K, but one losing trade would have made you lost 10K, and net you're still in losses. But if you have a good reward to risk ratio, yes, you can be right 50% of the times, but still you can be a profitable trader, right? So that is why I always say that don't run behind the hit rate, wait for qualities, because wherever you have qualities, just see what will happen most of the times. Can you see prices came to this? Oops. If you look at this, can you see prices came to the zone? just touched the zone, and then you had amazing move in your favor, which was probably a 2:1 or a 3:1 kind of a trade, and not just once. Can you see it came to the zone once, twice? Both the times it worked beautifully. And let me also show you something very interesting. Now, if you think about this, can you see on this day, in about just 2 days, we felt 500 points. So when we felt, when the market, Bank Nifty fell 500 points in about just 2 days, what would everyone who follow conventional technical analysis be doing, right? They would be going for shots. Why they would be going for shots? Reason number one, emotion, right? Because such a strong move to the downside in the last 3 4 days, everyone would be interested in selling short. Reason number two, now you're getting lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Everyone would be in a down. Yeah, I mean, technically you're in a downtrend. In a downtrend, what are you supposed to do? Trend is your friend. So since trend is your friend, you should be selling, right? That's another reason. If you look at this area, can you see a beautiful area of support, right? Prices came here, moved up, again came here, moved up. And that is what everyone would be seeing, that, that support also has been violated. And if the support gets violated, what are you supposed to do? You're again supposed to go short. And now, what are all these people doing? They are making that novice mistake. What's that novice mistake? Selling after a decline in price and selling in an area where the chart has proven to us that back in history, demand exceeded supply. So, what were we supposed to do? We were supposed to buy here with a stop loss below this. If the prices they go anything below this, we take that loss, done with the trade. But this is where we have the opportunity that in case it starts moving up, I can have a big winner. And did that happen? Absolutely yes. Did we plan it in advance? Absolutely yes. You can watch the previous Sunday session that this was planned well in advance. Give me a second. So can you see that's the beauty of demand and supply methodology, that you can plan your trades well in advance, plus really nice high probability trade setups. And again, one thing which I'll add here is, yes, we would be going against everything what the conventional technical analysis they teach you. We are going against the trend. We are going against almost everything which conventional technical analysis is teaching us. But again, think about it. If you are doing what the majority of people are doing, you would also be getting the results what the majority of people are getting. And you majority of the people are losing money in the market. They are not making money in the market. So to make money, you need to do something different, which is opposite of what those people are doing. And that is what demand and supply basically teaches you. So now this zone is already tested. So I would not like to use this one again, because this is where I would be using the zone for a trade and not for the curve analysis, and it has already been now tested twice. We know the more number of times the zone gets tested, the probability reduces. So as of now, if I'm looking for any quality demand zone, okay, I don't see anything anywhere nearby, right? So what I'll have to do is probably I'll need to wait for the prices to form some new quality demand or supply zones on this one. Yes, we do have some supplies, but I would not be very interested in these supply areas, because like I said in the beginning, script which is making all-time highs, I don't plan short trades unless and until certain conditions are satisfied. But still, the previous session I also marked this as a supply zone for you, and I told you that if you people want to be very aggressive, if you want to take this as a shorting opportunity, yes, you can keep an eye on this. Again, I'll repeat, yes, you can keep an eye on this. If you want to be on the safer side, maybe you can do it as a confirmation trade. But yes, you can keep an eye on this one. For me, I like to be a little conservative with the scripts which are making all-time highs. So now this one is already gone. In fact, when we did this, I also told you that this could be a case of level on top of level, where if you want to further fine-tune your zone, your entry could have been here. And now if you look at your reward to risk ratio with that fine-tuned entry, can you see you would have just bought the low, and then you had an amazing move in your favor, which could have been a reward to risk ratio, which is more like 6:1, 7:1, or maybe even more than that, right? So if you draw the lines, and let's see how big is this RR, this move. So if we start from here, oops, wrong tool. Let me select the correct tool. Give me a second. I changed the script. All right, so let's do it again. So let's start from here. Okay, I'll need to draw it again. All right, so if you look at this, this was a move which is 1:1, 2:1, 3:1, 4:1, 5:1, 6:1, probably 6.5:1 kind of a move. So beautiful reward to risk ratio. Okay, my question: did anyone take this trade? The Bank Nifty, when the Nifty started coming back to the zone? Let me know in the chat box, because I know one of the biggest challenges when the markets are crashing like crazy. uh, biggest challenge, emotion, right? You won't have the guts to press the buy button, right? That is where the biggest challenge lies. So yes, somebody who probably has been doing demand and supply for quite a while, yes, might be a little comfortable taking that trade. But those of you who are starting maybe fresh with demand and supply might be scared to take that trade. So again, talking about uh, no, not a problem. Please, prices. So again, can you see when I'm marking it on the charts, it's basically the same zones you'll be seeing on your charts. So even if I mark the price, doesn't make any difference because you can always spot it on your charts. It's not a very big challenge. Yes, I did double the money on call options. All right. So you took it as an options trade, not a problem. See, again, when it comes to demand and supply, I mean, when it comes to options, your option trade also starts as a demand and supply trade. That you start with a trade setup, which is now a trade setup which is for a demand area. The only thing you're doing is you're substituting shares or your futures contract with options. Now, one thing which I'll definitely add is that with options, it's only the direction. If you're probably trading, it might not be very fruitful to you because options, they are multi-dimensional assets. But not a problem if you took that trade in options, you doubled your money. Good for you. But yes, be a little bit careful with options. All right, so let's move ahead. Sujit, please come up with the lifetime membership for simulation sessions. I took that Bank Nifty trade as per the rules using boosters and made a profit of 4 is to 1. See, Rahul, let me put it this way. Uh, See, okay, what I'll do is I'll answer this question at the end of the session, right? So I keep getting this question very frequently, that if I can have something which is like a lifetime access, or whatever it might be, maybe a longer extended, maybe 1 year, 6 months. And I didn't do it on purpose, right? I'll tell you the reason for it once I'm done with the analysis. So do remind me in case I forget it. Why not lifetime access, and why I only have 30 days and 60 days, right? I'll give you the logical reason for it. Great. So good to know some of you took that trade. Some of you did it in options. Yes, in options, you can easily double your money. In fact, doubling is still a piece of cake. In options, you will see 500% profits, 600% profits, 1000% profits, right? And yes, also good to see that, Rahul, you took that trade. You got a 4 is to 1 on it. So good to see that you people are using the strategy, getting the benefit out of it. And that is what my objective is, that you people should be able to do your analysis. Yes, I'm just helping you now. These sessions, I'm just trying to help you see that how beautifully demand and supply works, right? So that's what these sessions are all about. So now coming back to 15 minutes, yes, I do see this supply, but again, like I said, maybe as a confirmation trade. Now, if I want to plan something which I can straight away do as a limit entry, I don't see any quality demand areas, so I'll still have to wait. So as of now, nothing good on Nifty and Bank Nifty. So we'll look into it probably the next week if we get some good areas. Now, us on SMP, like we talked about, that the prices have been in this zone for quite a while. Prices are still there. The zone has not yet been violated. We'll see what happens. At this point of time, planning a long trade would be the most novice mistake you can make. So the only time probably you should be planning for a long trade is once this area gets violated, not before that. If you see some shorting opportunities on smaller time frames, yes, we can definitely take those shorting opportunities. Not a long as of now. On shorts, daily we don't have anything. Still the same case. On 240 minutes, do we have something which is quality? Okay, I won't go very far back. That is what we do. We try to save a little bit time because then I answer some of the questions which you people have. On 60 minutes, again, I won't go very far back, but can you see we have formation of a lot of demand areas? We have this demand, we have this demand, we have this demand. But again, I would not be interested in trading these demands as of now, right? So nothing on 60, nothing on 15, because it would be the same case. We can't go back in history. But what I'll say is you can keep an eye on this. If this gets violated and then you see some good quality demand formations, you can use those formations for long opportunities. But in case it doesn't violate this and it starts showing you some good quality supplies, they can also be used for your shorting opportunities. Right, so that is what can be done. So let's move to gold. So on gold, we had this supply area, we had this demand area. So nothing is changing on the weekly. If you look at the daily chart, we mark this as our daily supply. Can you see on Friday, prices came back, just touched that supply area, started reacting from it. So we are still getting a reaction from the supply. We can keep this one. On the demand side, we do have this newly formed demand drop based rally, which is very close by. Now, one thing which I'll add here is when your demand areas and supply areas are in very close proximity, what happens is your profit potential reduces, because as soon as it hits demand, it can move up. As soon as it hits supply, it can move down. So that profit potential definitely decreases. And that is why what you need to do is you need to have patience. So you need to have patience for either your demand area to get violated or your supply zone to get violated, which can then open up your reward to risk ratios. Or probably if you're planning some trades, you need to go a little deeper into the zone to plan those trades. So this is where we had this supply zone. Again, this probably, in fact, definitely would have been a case of level on top of level. So if you look at the lower level, let's draw it wick to wick. Can you see prices? They came to the zone, tested it wick to wick, gave a reaction. So that was the first test. Then you also had the second reaction, and after that, the zone got violated. Right, so that's supply is already gone now. If you are looking for a new supply zone, let's see if we have anything. Nothing close by. So nothing on this time frame as of now. Let's look at the 60 minutes. On the 60 minutes, you can see it's probably the same level which we saw on the hourly, and that is what I was telling you. You got two reactions. So can you see that was the very first reaction? Prices hit this zone, gave you a nice move. Probably not a 2:1, but whatever the target the chart was showing, you could have easily achieved that target. The second time, again, it came back to the zone, a small reaction. Again, the third time came back to the zone, a small reaction. And then after quite a few tests, the zone got violated eventually. We also had a demand zone, but the prices they fell shy of this demand by a few, by a few points. That is what it looks like. It was marked maybe long time back. So as of now, if I'm looking for a demand area or a supply area, this looks good. Right? This one looks good. I don't like anything in between. Now, can you see if I start looking up, my indicator is telling me I have this supply area, this supply area, this supply area. The reason is, I already have my settings set to a very low setting. So if I push it up a little higher, now I will see few number of demand and supply zones. So let's just wait for it. And you will see quite a few have been removed. And can you see the one which I was talking about is still there? So that is what you need to do. You have to train your eyes over a period of time to learn how to identify something which is quality versus something which is not quality. Now, I know this is a very big challenge initially when you are doing your demand and supply analysis. But that is why I created this tool. Can you see it makes the process much easier and mechanical for you, that now you don't have to search for it. You can just keep the settings a little better versus what I'm keeping. So the default settings are good enough, and now it will only identify for you quality demand areas and quality supply areas, right? Can you see it identified this supply, we got a reaction from this supply. It identified this demand, yes, this one was violated. It identified this supply, we got a reaction from this. Identified this supply, got a reaction from this. Identified this supply, yes, was violated. Identified this demand, we got a nice reaction from it. Identified this demand, we got a really nice reaction from it. So this is where this tool will definitely help you. But what I'll say is that don't use this tool blindly, that just because it is marking a demand zone. Just give me a second. That just because it is marking a demand area for you, or a demand or a supply area for you, you just start taking trades on those demand and supply zones blindly. That is incorrect. You have to use them as your assisting tools, which means now if it is telling you this is where you have supply, forget all other supply areas which you see on the chart. Just look at this supply, match it with your trade plan. Matches with your trade plan, take that trade. Doesn't match with your trade plan, skip that. So a very beautiful example is right here. When I'm using these settings, can you see it is showing me quite a few areas, but none of these areas in between. So let them load again. Can you see? But none of these areas are matching with my trade plan. So I simply skip them and I move to the one which is matching with my trade plan. So that is all you need to do. So this definitely makes your life very easy. And I don't know how many of you, okay, anyone joining this session as of now using this demand and supply zone indicator, and any feedback? Is it helping you, not helping you? Any challenges? So do let me know. Okay. So keep one session with scripts so people can learn how to like the LNT. So Dharmik, okay. So again, the question which you asked, I'll definitely answer that again at the end of the session. Okay. So that's the supply I would be interested in. In fact, if you talk about that, Dharmik, the LNT trade, can you see after I posted it, again, prices came back to that level probably twice or thrice. And that is where you got really nice reactions from that supply area, not just once, probably thrice or twice, maybe 3 times, 4 times. So we were on the 60 minutes chart. Okay, that's the only supply which I like. Let's see on the 15 minutes. Do we have anything? No, nothing on 15. So that's gold. So we only have one opportunity which looks good enough, which is somewhere around here, right? Somewhere around here, nothing in between that I like, which also tells us that if prices they start moving up, might not be very surprising that this supply might get violated, and then prices they move up and then hit this supply and then start coming back, right? So that can probably happen. So that's your gold. Let's look into silver. So on silver, we had this demand area on the weekly getting a reaction from that as of now. On the daily, we have the supply. Let's look at demand. We don't have any quality demand anywhere close by. Even to market as of, mark for our curve analysis, we don't have anything close by. So I won't go really, really far back. Like you always say, let's save time. On the 240 minutes, yes, this is what I marked supply for you. So still I'll stick with this one. So keep an eye on this one. If the prices they start coming back, can be a nice opportunity. So it's still the same, nothing is changing. It's still the same on the 60 minutes. Now can you see, you need to have patience. So if the prices are not coming to my zone for 2 weeks, don't force yourself into a trade, because if not on this script, maybe on some other script you might have your opportunity. But yes, we still need to have patience. Nothing quality here as of now, right? And let me see this one. Where are we overall? Okay, looks good. Okay, not really, really good. Okay, kind of, right? Okay, kind of. So what I'll say is, strictly maybe as an intraday trade, if you want to be a little careful, maybe you can even do it as a confirmation trade. And again, nothing on 15 minutes, because I can see I don't have any quality areas, and I won't be going very far back in history. So let's look at crude oil. So you can see on crude oil, I talked about this as the supply zone. In fact, let's go to the weekly first. So can you see that's your weekly supply area? So we were getting close to that weekly supply wick to wick. And I told you that we have this really nice supply zone here. I also talked about that, yes, the indicator is marking maybe in a different way, but I'm marking it in a different way. And if the prices they come to this area, it can be your shorting opportunity. Even if you were going with the indicator, still would have been fine, because can you see that's where you have the zone. In fact, I would have marked it something like this, and then I would have told you that if you want to make it a little safe, you can have your stop loss beyond this. But even if you took this as your zone, can you see an amazing arrival? And we again did it on 18th. So where is 18th, 20th, 18th? So this is the day when we did the analysis where the markets would have been. And can you see what happened on Monday? An amazing strong move. Prices they started coming to this supply area, hit that supply, and can you see after hitting that supply, an amazing move in your favor. Again, if you talk about your reward to risk ratios, maybe a 3:1, 4:1 kind of a trade setup. And again, very important, we were doing everything against the conventional technical analysis. You're in a very beautiful uptrend, everyone would be very happy buying, but we are looking at shorts, right? So yes, trend is your friend, right? So I would also agree, trend is your friend, but until the bend in the end, right? And if you don't know how to find that bend in the end, you might be in very big trouble, because now when you're participating with the trend, you would be thinking that why only after I buy, prices they start going against me. In fact, if you look at this on Monday, can you see I had a breakout of all this area? This would have been even a bigger reason for everyone to start going long. So can you see two beautiful examples where just from the last week, where we were going against conventional technical analysis. And yep, that's the beauty of demand and supply. So this one has already worked out. So what I'll do is I'll skip this one now, because the zone is already tested. We also have a zone sitting right above. You can keep an eye on this. We also have this demand area. So for the curve analysis, yes, acceptable, nothing wrong, but maybe as a trading opportunity, no, right? So not as a trading opportunity. In fact, not even as curve analysis, because I can see it has been tested quite a few times. So if I need something for my curve analysis, yes, I would be going for a zone which is right here. So these can be the two zones. We can remove the one at the bottom. So we can keep an eye on these two. So let's see what do we have on smaller time frames. If you go to the 240, okay, I won't go back really far in history, but yes, if I'm looking for some shorting opportunities, the charts are showing some good opportunities. Now this one, I would not be very interested unless and until I see something better on a smaller time frame. This one still looks fine, so I'll just go to smaller time frame and see that, at these areas, do we have some shorting opportunities? If yes, those can be our trades for shots. In fact, I don't know whether I talked about this one. I'm very sure I would have said that, we have this demand area, but I would not be surprised if by prices they just go right through it. And probably I would have told you that if you're looking at this one, don't do it as type 1 entry. Probably type 2, type 3 would be a better way to go about. And can you see that is what happened? Prices straight away came here and the zone got violated. Now, if you're looking for an opportunity, like I said, I would like to see it on a smaller time frame. So I like the one above, not the one below. So this is almost the same zone which we were seeing on the 240. Just give me a second, on the 240. So not the one below. So if you are interested in planning a trade, the one above is higher probability, which is right here. So what I've done is, can you see, I've just marked this one on 60 minutes to make it a little easy on you. The zone is not really wide, just about 0.5%. Good enough as an intraday trade. So you can keep an eye on this one. Let's go to 15. Do we have anything on 15? Nothing. Right, so that's the only area on crude oil. Now the last two Forex examples, and then we'll get into the Q&As. So Forex, we have been looking at this zone for quite a while, and seems like that this week it finally got violated. Not a surprise, right? So finally we are done with this area. Now the next demand zone is right here, and is, oops, wrong tool. Now, can you see all these tools which I'm using to draw the demand zones and the supply zones? The link which I showed you on our website, that is where you can understand how to set these tools and use all these tools for your demand and supply analysis. And again, I'll repeat, those of you who joined in a little late, give me a second first. Right, so the big news for all of you is that the NSC data on TradingView is now live. Even if you have a free account, you would be able to use your free account with live data for NSC. So that's the big news, which means now you have a very beautiful platform available to you with all the tools which we require for demand and supply analysis to plan your trades, that too free of cost. Right, so that's the big news for today. And yes, also one more thing which I'll again repeat once we get to the end of the session. So again, on this one, yes, we have these newly formed supply areas. Let's mark them, right? But again, only for curve analysis, unless and until I see something really nice on the smaller time frame, probably I won't be interested in taking some trades. We'll look into it. So yes, we do have the supply on the daily as well. Now I won't be going very far back in history. Let's move on to 240. Do I see any quality trading opportunities? Nope. Let's go to 60 minutes. Do I see anything on 60? No. Go to 15. Now, can you see? Now, this is also a very common question which I get, that how long does it take you to analyze scripts? And can you see I'm analyzing scripts for you? Hardly, a one single time frame takes you probably less than 5 seconds, right? Nothing more than that. But again, this is not going to happen overnight. This will happen with time and experience, and that is how it is going to be. But yes, can you see these tools will definitely help you a little bit with your demand and supply analysis. All right, so on the supply side, demand side, I won't change anything. In fact, we have this newly formed supply. Yes, you can if you wish to, right? Nothing fancy, because only for maybe the curve analysis, you can mark this one. Let's see. So we did have this demand area, but prices, they just came to the zone got violated. Not a problem, because like you always say, that just because you're doing demand and supply does not mean each and every trade is going to be a profitable trade. You will have your share of winners, you will have your share of losers. And yes, this I mean, those of you who understand or have done the course, this is a case of level on top of level. So probably if you were looking at the lower level, still somewhere around here, right? But otherwise, this zone straight away prices came back, violated it. Not a problem with that. Let's go to 240. On 240, this looks good. This looks good. And where are we placed? Well, let's see. Uh, okay, this looks fine, right? So if you want to keep an eye on this one, you can definitely do that. Uh, Perfect. So let's mark this one. So you can keep an eye on this one. This looks good. So we'll check next session. What happens? Do we get a bounce? We don't get a bounce. Straight away gets violated. So let's mark this as demand. Right. So we do have this one on the GBP USD 4 hours. Let's go to 60 minutes. On 60 minutes, I don't see anything quality anywhere close by. Let's see on 15 minutes. On 15 minutes, yes, this looks beautiful, but already worked out, right? So this was formed uh, during the week, right? So during the week, this zone was formed. Definitely looks like a beautiful area, but you can see prices again came to the zone, already reacted. So those of you who are probably doing the analysis could have participated in this zone. Other than that, there was nothing. This has already worked out. So we'll again have to wait until the next session whether we find something which is tradable or not. So that's about it for the some of the key major markets, the demand and the supply areas. Again, today beautiful examples for on quite a few scripts where you can see that the last 2 week we planned some zones and the prices they came to the zones worked out beautifully. Some of you took those trades, some of you took those trades in options, some of you took those trades in futures, right? But yes, now that's how it is. Again, one thing which I'll again add, I'm not doing the complete analysis here. I'm just showing you some of the key levels. So make sure if you are taking some trades, planning your trades, you have your risk management rules in place, and also ensure that those zones they match with your trade plan. Now let's get started with the Q&As. How about demand and supply zone indicator? Okay, so I've already answered that. Thanks for sharing the news. All right, perfect. Uh, so Apurva, right? So yes, I'll scroll down. Probably would have already given your question. You said I'm an ex-student, and then you said Apurva here. So I'll scroll down and I'll see if I get your question. So video 2, video 3, Apurva. Okay, so that's a question to him. Okay, so next question is from Himanshu. 50% candle and engulfing pattern indicator combination can help to decide demand zone supply zones. Uh, no, because Himanshu, what you're probably thinking is that only if we have an engulfing pattern and we have a candle which is less than 50%, that becomes as your demand area or an area of supply. That is not how it is. We have to look for certain conditions, right? And just again, even if you use that, yes, you might be very close to it, but again, it's not always we are looking for an engulfing candle and a 50% basing, right? So that is how it is. In fact, if I talk about this demand and supply zone indicator, you will see it will also mark quite a few zones for me where I don't even have a 50% candle, right? So can you see this one? This is not even a candle with 50% body, but it is still marking this as a demand zone for me, right? So there can be other things as well. Please you. Okay, so yes, I did a double. Okay. Sujit, please come up with a lifetime membership. All right, so let's start with this question, which Rahul asked. That start with a lifetime membership, and now why I don't start with the lifetime membership, right? Let me put it this way. Reason number one, price. Though it is not the primary reason. Why? Because yes, I know I can give 30 days, I can give 60 days, then I can have maybe 6 months, then I can have lifetime. So people, whatever suits their pocket, they can go in for that. But my specific reason not going for these big duration, 6 months and lifetime, is reason number one. uh, First, these would be more pocket friendly. Yes, at least you have that choice, so that being pocket friendly is not an issue, because whoever likes these pocket friendly things, they can go for that. Whoever likes want to spend more can go for it. But what is the biggest disadvantage when you go for 6 months in lifetime? The biggest disadvantage is, one, what I realized is that when I was working as an instructor with Online Trading Academy, uh, when you join their courses, all their courses are lifetime courses. So what I realized is, now let's take an example. uh, you get unlimited retakes, right? If you're joining some lifetime sessions, so what happens is you don't take it very seriously. Why you don't take it very seriously? Because you know that if you miss a session today, I can always come back, right? If I miss the next day session, I can always come back. But when you know that you have paid for limited time, you will take out time to join that session and learn from that session. So that's reason number one, that brings in more seriousness into the students, because they know that if they don't learn and go through those sessions during that 30 days or the 60-day subscription, they'll have to pay for it again. And that is where they start getting serious about it. So that was my primary reason, so that students, they also take it seriously. That's so the price we've already talked about. Second thing I told you, that the students, yes, will take it seriously. Now the third reason is that uh, if I give lifetime, Many people would only join Lifetime not to learn the strategy. They would only join Lifetime to get those ready-made trades which I give in the sessions. So I don't want this to be more of a tip giving service or a call giving service. I want people to learn how to fish versus I am providing them that fish. So that is another reason why I never wanted to have those long durations, because I know especially people who are joining for long durations, their main objective might not be to learn the strategy. Their objective might be, let me just join the sessions, whatever, so share, the trades Surjit would be sharing, I'll just replicate those trades and I don't have to do that hard work. So that is one reason, that I don't want people to get into that mindset. It has to be join it, learn it, do it all by yourself, right? That is what I'm working on. But yes, to make your life easy, I'm also designing a lot of tools which do help you when it comes to your analysis. But that's these are the main reasons why I don't have a 30, extended period, 6 months, 1 year, unlimited. I don't have those. And yes, one another reason is probably, as of now, I'm happy taking these sessions. Maybe a few years down the line, I might be occupied with something else. I won't get time to do these sessions. So why? If I ask you to pay lifetime and then I'm not able to provide you those sessions, then I'll be in a fix, right? So let me do it in a way so that it's easy on everyone, right? So that answers your question. Can you give one more session on the stock short listing for future trade? We got confused with so many stocks. Okay, so you mean how to shortlist stocks? See again, the okay. Let me put it again. Something like this. Again, people believe that if we are able to shortlist the right stock, we would be able to make money. The fact is, it's not that way. The fact is, if you're able to identify the right opportunity, you would be able to make money. Now, how you find stock is irrelevant, right? But yes, there can be ways which can make that process a little shorter for you. Example, if I'm going through, let's say, 100 scripts every day, yes, analyzing 100 scripts will take me a lot of time. But if I can find a way which can stack more probability, that I can look at few number of scripts, but they are high probability scripts where I can have some quality demand zone, supply zones, yes, I can save a lot of time. So the only thing which the scanner helps you is to save time, to have a smaller list of stocks. Scanners, they do not give you opportunities you have to decide, right? So that is why doesn't matter, you have your own favorite watch list, you're using some conventional technical analysis to shortlist scripts, or maybe you're using the alert service. Now I always say that our alert service is one of the best way to shortlist stocks when it comes to your demand and supply analysis, because the alert service gives you alerts based on demand and supply, which is where you only get alerts because you have quality areas. If you don't have quality areas, you won't get the alerts, so the number of scripts would be less, and the possibility of finding the trading opportunities would also be high. Good option strategies for long is good option strategy for long. And see again, Samir, it's not uh, one thing which you can always do, because what happens is the markets are dynamic. The conditions, they keep on changing. So depending upon how the implied volatility is it very cheap, fair priced, expensive, very expensive? Are you at demand? Are you at supply? The strategies will change, right? It cannot be one single strategy for everything. Scripts. Okay, so the next thing is do the analysis with scripts so that we can learn from them. So Dharmik, I do the analysis for scripts, but that is what we do in the simulation sessions. And like I said today, that what I'm doing is starting from today, I will be giving a giveaway coupon, and what that coupon will enable you people is that you will be able to join that live session where I take the scripts and I do the complete analysis on that script. You will be able to see the complete process. So how to win that coupon? All you need to do is, if you're still not subscribed to our channel, you need to subscribe to it. Like this video, comment. Now comments can be anything, how these sessions are helping you or not helping you. Your feedback can be simple as hi, right? It can be anything, right? So you need to comment upon it on this video. And plus I would highly appreciate if you can share it with your friends, your family. You can share it on Facebook, you can share it on Twitter, you can share it on Telegram, WhatsApp, right? Whatever it might be, because these sessions might be helpful for other people as well, right? So I'll appreciate if you can share it. So yes, and what I'll do is, the next session, from all the comments which I receive, I'll pick a random winner, and that winner will get the access to one session which you can join live, and you can see the complete process, how to plan a trade in a very mechanical and rule based way. So that's the answer to your question. How can I trade S&P and other international indices? You need to have an account with an international broker who allows you to trade those indices, right? So that's the way you can do it. How can I trade gold futures on COMEX? Again, somebody who's allowing you to trade the international market, you will have to open an account with an international broker, or maybe some international brokers who are placed, maybe based off India, or maybe some Indian brokers who are allowing you to trade the international markets. You'll have to look for it. Keep on session with the scripts so people can learn. See, again, even if it comes to scripts, I'll just be marking the demand areas and supply areas, so it doesn't make any difference, because we'll not be getting into the technicalities of it. That is something which I only do in the live simulation sessions, which are the POS plus paid sessions. Can I have your email address? I have one query on TradingView platform, so you can put the query here. So probably if I have the answer to it, I'll definitely help you with that. But if I don't have the answer to it, then probably the trading view people would be the right people to answer that, right? So you can just put it in the chat box. I'll help you with that if I know the answer to that query. Helps a lot. Very helpful. Gives me confidence to trade. All right, thank you. In the demo session, demand and supply zones indicator settings are not changed, so we can't see leg up. Yes. So what happens is, when it comes to, if you search for Surjit Kakkar in the indicator list, we have two indicators. One is the demo, and the other one is the demand and supply zone indicator. Now, the demo version has restrictions. What are these restrictions? That you can only use the demo version on the daily time frame. Can you see if I remove this one? It doesn't mark. Okay, I'm already on the daily time frame. Can you see it's marking my demand areas and supply areas? But if I change it to any other time frame, it will not mark any demand areas and supply areas. So the demo version only works on the daily time frame, plus that customization, which is the number of candles and the leg out strength. You can't customize that. So those are the restrictions to the demo version. On the paid version, those restrictions are not there. Uh, All right, so NG, good. So I'm not looking at natural gas as of now. Crude near monthly supply. So in fact, we just saw that on crude. We we had a supply zone. That is where we started getting a reaction. So many tutors arrange 1 to 2 day seminar. Isn't it possible for demand and supply strategy? See, Himanshu, I'll put it this way. If I do a 1 day seminar, if I do a 2 day seminar, do you think you'll be able to learn from it? Trust me, you will not be able to learn from it. The best way to learn is, you need to have an extended period of live hand holding, right? So if I do a 1 day session, if I do a 2 day session, probably anywhere, yes, a lot of people might come, but you will be, trust me, you'll be more like getting an overview of it, an insight of it. But to get good with it, you need to have that consistent touch with the market, right, for an extended period. That is why, I never do these 1 or 2 day seminars, because I know that even if I do that, after that you will have to come and join those live sessions, because unless and until you practically do it for an extended period, it can't be. Say, as an example, let's imagine you're doing medical. Right now, if you are if a doctor is doing just a 1 day or a 2 day seminar, and he shows you, okay, this is how you operate and this is how you do the surgery, do you think you'll be able to do it all by yourself later? Absolutely not, right? You need to work with that doctor in his team, probably for 6 months, 1 year, or whatever it might be. Right, so the same thing is applicable here. You have to be in my team for 30 days, for 60 days, whatever makes you feel that comfortable. And only when you get that comfortable feeling, you will be able to do it all by yourself. So that is why 1 or 2 days is not going to help you, right? So uh, I'm being very straightforward in telling you what the fact is. So even now, trust me, it's not just about me. Anyone who's doing 1 or 2 day seminar, if you think you'll be learning anything out of it, yes, you might get some pointers, but will it help you practically? It's not going to help you practically. That is how it is. Why we can't trade for scripts which are for curve analysis? Okay, so we'll not be getting into the technicalities. Can I have your email address? So Apurba, I just told you you can do that, but yes, if you need the email address, it's info@surjitkakkar.com, right? So there it is in the chat box. All right, so let's move ahead. Okay, let's see. Can you please check demand and supply zones? Okay, so we won't be getting into scripts. Very true. People will always use ready-made trades. Okay, perfect. So that's the answer. All right. What is the difference between curve analysis and trading scripts? Again, we are not getting into the technicalities. That's only in our sessions. Excellent session. Thank you for the session. Very helpful. Thank you. Uh, Is it helpful for us to get the paid version? And can I take direct trade from TradingView platform? So first thing is, if you want the paid version of TradingView just to have live data, that is not required, because like I told you that now they are giving you live data for NSE even with the free account. Can you trade from TradingView platform straight away? Not on TradingView. The reason is they are still not linked with any of the Indian broker. But yes, Fires, they use TradingView as their online platform. So if you have an account with Fires, you can use the same platform, which is TradingView, for placing your orders as well. But now the disadvantage is that on Fires, you can't have your custom built indicators. Therefore, all these demand and supply zone indicators, boring candle, explosive move, all those things are missing. So as of now, we don't have one single platform where you can have everything. This you'll have to use for analysis, and you'll have to use another platform for placing your orders. Thank you, Suji. These Sunday sessions help us revise learning that. Perfect. Thank you, Pradeep. Great. So that brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Make sure you do this and not to miss your chance. So I'll be picking one random winner from all the comments which I receive, and the next session I'll be telling who that person is. And yes, and then you will be able to join the session live, the simulation sessions, and you would be able to see how the analysis is done. So again, thank you so much for joining in. Enjoy your Sunday. Take care. Bye bye.